Hey, what's up, guys? It's Fulky here. I just want to give a shout out to Boogie Bentley, Dauber, and the Indie Kid over at the Talkin VAWLS network on YouTube. Keep doing your thing, guys. Go Vols.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chain. Can't control me. I got the power.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS network. My name is the Indie Kid.
I'm Dauber.
This is the Talkin VAWLS post-game show. Tennessee with a big win tonight, 77-73 over number 6, Arizona. Big win tonight, big performance. Welcome back, John Fulkerson. The Fulky of 2 years ago resurfaced tonight in a big, big way. But you guys know the drill. Before you get into it, smash that like button. Subscribe if you have not already. I'll stick to what I've said. If we hit 200 tonight, I'm giving away a flat bill hat tonight. But it's 200 and not one less. But before I get into the thoughts, Dauber, let's see who's with us tonight. Wayne, the Train Starnes in the house. What a start. Go Vols. Foxtown, Will Murley, Eric Smith. Let's see who else we got here. John Hill in the chat. Undying Voice. Let's see. Lucas Sharp in here for a bit. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Dauber, opening thoughts on a big win for the Vols tonight.
Big win. Like you said, my first thoughts, great defense, great hustle, effort, intensity. The Tommy Bowl was rocking, and just enough offense to get by. Really good defensive performance. That right there shows you what this team is capable of, playing great defense and getting just enough points to win. Because Arizona's a really good team, averaging 90-some points a game, I believe.
91, yeah. So
to come in with that capable of an offense and to hold them to 73 points tonight, heck of an effort. Good win, quality win. So that will should give you a little bit of foresight into what this team can be if they're clicking.
It's kind of like to my just over my shoulder here, the late great Jim Morrison said, "Break on through to the other side." So Tennessee broke through tonight. Big performance. Like you said, man, when I looked at it on paper, when I previewed this, I didn't feel real confident on this. Arizona's net ranking number 1. Their size, and it big team, second biggest team in the whole country behind Florida State. It's just like I said, man, you hit it. Defense was strong, and I know their guard, Terry, his assist to turnover ratio was 5th in the nation, so I wondered how Tennessee would combat that, and they did an excellent job on that tonight. But got a couple super chats here. Dustin Sellers, what's up, Dustin? Santa Claus came to town. I'd say it was Fulky Claus tonight. Absolutely. Big win tonight. Wayne Starnes, Fulky, and his effort was crucial in this win tonight. Go Vols. Man, all the hustle plays.
Yeah.
He made them. That was the Fulkerson we were used to. I mean, there at the end when Chandler's driving, kind of forced one. Fulkerson Fulkerson's there for 3-point play. Just huge tonight.
Spends more time on the floor than anybody else. I'm not talking about on the court playing. I'm talking about laying down on the floor. But you love that effort and that, gutsy, gritty, his heart, man. Nobody plays harder. If you had a team full of guys that had motors like Fulkerson, man, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, and he had it tonight too. I mean, he ended up last I saw him, he pulled back up here. It was 24-10. I'm pretty sure that's what he ended. I may be wrong here. Let's see. I think he said 24-10. Tennessee out rebounded Arizona tonight. Arizona was plus 11 in rebounds coming into this game. Tennessee was about a little over 4. So that's big in my opinion. I thought they set the tone early as well, getting offensive rebounds. That impresses me a lot that they won the rebounding battle against the second biggest team in the country as far as the rotations go. But I mean, for anybody to watch, you can see it was a big team tonight, but they won the rebounding battle. Arizona assisted them 16-12. 3-point percentages. Arizona shot 33. I mean, Tennessee just shot 29%. And, unfortunately, their 3-point shooting let Arizona back in the game at one point. Vescavi's got to know when to stop. He's got to know when to stop. There were multiple. I was not happy with him multiple times tonight. Indecisiveness. Just low IQ plays on defense. He hit some big shots. He ended up with 15 points, but 3 out of 12 from 3-point range. You got to know when to stop. And I don't know, man. I think Barnes encourages him and wants him to take it, and I get it. But when you take half of the 3-point shots and you make 25% of them,
yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, you got to stop forcing it. I mean, Jordan James took 6 of it. He was 2 out of 6. I mean, he was 33%. Thought both those guys made some just poor plays at time tonight. Yeah, exactly, Terry. James had some really bad passes tonight, and it changed momentum. Vescavi, he didn't know a shot, when not to take it. I mean, he had some bad fouls, and I don't know what he was trying to do the very last play. It's a 4-point lead, and he's trying to foul before a guy throws it up. I mean, if he fouls that for some reason there, if that guy, I know he's throwing it from, past half court, but this dude throws a shot up, Vescavi fouls him, that goes in, this guy's got a 4-point play and a chance to tie it. Such a bonehead play. They didn't call the foul, but I don't know what in the world he was thinking on that one. And it's a low chance it goes in, but still yet. If a guy bombs a 3 with 2 seconds left from that, the clock's going to run out. It's just oh, man, 201. We have hit 200 viewers tonight.
Oh, there goes that flat bill.
Flat bill hat will be given out tonight. We'll pick a winner after the show's over. We'll get with Boogie and have him get that sent out tonight as well. So 200 viewers. Thank you, guys.
Well, here's the other thing. You talking about Vescavi having a bit of a struggle game. Chandler struggled. Statistically, you look at him, 2 of 14, 0 for 3 from 3-point. And he had a couple of plays where he looked like the young true freshman that he is. But to have all this negativity and talk about these guys making mistakes and not playing great, you come out with the W.
Against the number 6 team in the nation. That's right.
Here's the thing that I like. This is the stat that says it all. largest lead of the game for Arizona, they
0.
never had one.
Yeah.
15 for Tennessee. So, man, just again, defensive effort, man. And that's we've said it and said it and said it. That's Rick Barnes's calling card.
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple guys in the chat talking about some players. Victor Bailey, is he in the doghouse? I think it goes back to your effort on the defensive end. I think that's what earns you minutes. And right now, this team, he's running a fairly deep bench. And if you're showing out on the defensive end, that's how you're going to log minutes.
It was an interesting rotation tonight. And I felt it changed because we had seen less of Justin Powell recently. And then tonight, 11 points. He had some big shots. He had some big moments tonight. And I've never seen something like that at the very end where he went to shoot the free throw. The Arizona guy did something that threw that off. And then I don't know why he didn't reset and shoot it unless he was about to get, the 10-second thing. But that was but hats off to him, man. He had a big game tonight. But you talk about that rotation. They went 8 deep tonight. And according to what I'm saying, no Victor Bailey, no Huntley Hatfield.
Bailey played a few minutes, I believe, but I don't know that he logged any stats.
Okay, maybe I'm looking at the ESPN.com box score. They only have him listed. I don't know if anything was going on with Huntley Hatfield because against Greensboro and against Upstate, he played more of a role. And then, Wayne says Huntley Hatfield got in the first half. I missed that. He must not have had any stats either. Because it seemed like anytime they would spell Fulkerson, they would go to Euros on that. So, Euros did some good things tonight as well. A couple points, 3 boards, but he had some big boards. He played some good defense as well. Let's see, let me hit the super chat. Dustin Sellers again. We still have to overcome the droughts of several minutes not scoring. Yeah, absolutely. That led Arizona back in the game. They went, close to 5 minutes, and then Fulkerson got an and one on it. But,
I think they tied it twice.
Yeah, I know they got it to 62 all, and maybe was it 64 all possibly. But, once that happened, Tennessee, they picked it. They answered the call tonight. They went cold. They let Arizona back in the game. And looking at it, depending on what poll, most of them I see Arizona's number 6, but they shot 38.8%, 29% from 3-point range, only had 12 assists. The good thing about it tonight is I definitely don't think they played their best game, but you just beat the number 6 team in the country not playing your best game. Like you said earlier, man, this is a little bit of the sign of what this team can do.
Yeah.
It was a big performance from them. Like you said, that was the John Fulkerson of 2 years ago pre-COVID, who had put that team on his back and, went up to Rupp, got a big win, was carrying them down the stretch when other guys weren't contributing. John Fulkerson put him on his back. Again, Vescavi, 15 points. He had some big shot, and Jordan James. It's solid at Kamwa, 2.7 rebounds. He had some big rebounds there. But, like you said, Chandler, 2 out of 14, 0-3 from 3-point range, 4 assists. I'd like to see how many turnovers. I would venture to say he was probably about close on that on turnovers. He had a few turnovers along the way. But forcing Arizona into the turnovers that they did tonight, and I've yet to see an updated statistics on how many were forced. But Arizona's a low turnover team. And good game plan. I don't think there was necessarily a plan A, B, and C from Tennessee, but The big thing was, and I still say the big thing in this game was the rebounding, that they out-rebounded Arizona. I did not see that coming in. And
I liked how they were denying the guards for Arizona to penetrate. And it looked like they were slow. So defensively, that we were getting a position quick and cutting that drive off, which is way better than if you think back to the first loss to Villanova. We were sluggish and slow to react defensively against Villanova, and they just drove right by us. But yeah, like you said, looking at this game, I was hesitant about how it would turn out based on Arizona's length and size. Just not having traditional big bodies down low, that typically doesn't bode well. And we just played hard, and getting them in foul trouble early helped. That was big time right there. You had a couple of their guys that set pretty good minutes in the first half, and then right out the gate in the second half, guy picked up his third foul and went to the bench. So
that's a lot of times what Tennessee has to do is, especially those bigger teams, you got to get them in foul trouble. That was big. And that's something I didn't feel in previous games against Villanova and Texas Tech. They just weren't getting to the line in those games. And, man, ESPN's got to get with the times. They don't have squat. They don't have free throws. They don't have minutes. They don't have turnovers or anything. If anybody on here knows a better post-game stat line to see than ESPN, let me know on here, because I would like to see the free throws. I like to see the turnovers.
12 of 18 for Arizona, 18 of 27 for Tennessee on free throws.
Okay.
Turnovers.
What are you looking at?
If you hit the team stats on ESPN,
mm-hmm.
Arizona had 17 total turnovers. Tennessee had 13.
Okay. Obviously, I'm new to the stats game here, looking at individuals. So that was one of the things that Tennessee ranked pretty low in the entire nation in getting to the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it was maybe, what were they averaging? 15 free throws a game at most, or maybe somewhere in that range.
It's not many.
It's not many at all, because, I mean, they settle so much for the three-point shot that you're not going to get to the basket. So the fact that they got 27 free throws, 66.7%.
You'd like that a little better.
Both teams actually shot 66.7%. Funny enough. Let's see. I had a couple more super chats. Gregory Veers, hope I pronounced that right. Folky plays hard even with the AARP card. Yeah, I've been graduated high school for about over 20 years now, and I think Fulkerson was playing in high school when I was in high school. So, yeah, he's still getting it. But, yeah, hats off to him, though. The guy, he won't go down as the greatest fall to ever play, but he's got to go down as one of the all-time favorites, if not the involved basketball history. I mean, I don't know how you can't like the guy, how you can't pull for the guy. I mean, even if you're an opposing fan, sometimes there's those guys that Tennessee plays against you just can't help but like. I can't imagine. I mean, maybe if you're Kentucky, where he's went up and beat you in rups so many times. I hope Kentucky does feel that way. But, you know, the guy just keeps doing it. And, you know, we've talked about it on here this year, wondering is the best Fulky behind us?
Right.
I think he answered that question tonight. Now, will this be an every game thing? I don't know that it will. But I like the fact that tonight he wanted it. He put the team on his back tonight. and he willed them to that victory. That's the guy we've known all along right there. And then Matthew Williams, Kamwa seems to be getting more physical, even only having 2 points. He had a big effect on the game. Fulkerson's unstoppable when he wants to be. I thought Kamwa had some effect too. He did some good things. He missed some easy shots in close. I thought that was one negative.
Yeah,
with him tonight,
and he wasn't the only one.
No,
that's the thing. Finishing at the rim is a weakness for this team. When you get in there, 6 feet, and you're not making a basket, that's a struggle. But yeah, he definitely made up for it on the defensive end, though. He had a couple big time blocks, pulled down. Let's see, how many rebounds did Kamwa have?
He had 7.
7. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean that's getting it done. If we've got offensive production coming from other guys, then you can kind of handle one guy that has the capability of having a big night offensively, but on the defensive end brings it.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. Looking at the rebound, of course, Tennessee won the rebounding battle 40-38. The key, 16 offensive rebounds to Arizona's 10. That is again, looking at it coming in, that's a battle that just really didn't look favorable for Tennessee. And so Fulkerson, Kamwa, these guys, they got in and got it done inside. Euros. I seen somebody, let me find the comment here. I kind of snickered at it. Somebody's like, it just seemed like they didn't want to feed the ball to Euros. And so, of course they didn't, because you go fumble it or something. I mean, he's kind of, his points are normally by putbacks or really by accident. Here you go. Did it seem like guys didn't want to give Euros the ball? You're more or less playing 4-on-5 on offense.
Yeah.
When he's in there. He's a screen guy. He's an offensive rebounding guy. But he did his job. And that's one thing about Euros. He's not going to be the most skilled guy. He's not going to be the most fleet-footed guy. He's doing his job when he comes in, though. And that's what you want out of him, the times he comes in. And let's see, how many? 8 turnovers for – I just had it up here. No, Arizona had 17 turnovers. Tennessee had 13. So another plus. I mean, this team forces turnovers. And I was reading today when I was reading the stat line and doing a preview that this team is forcing more turnovers than any other team in the Barnes era since he's been at Tennessee. So they get after you on this defensive end. And I'm not sure who had passed them, according to the Ken Palm. They were ranked 2nd in defense. So somebody's passed them within the last week. But they just held a team averaging 91 points a game to 73. That's a pretty good night there.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona was giving up 62 per game. Their stat line was insane. Their difference, winning by almost 30 points a game. And I agree with this as well. I think, and credit to Arizona for coming back and kind of regrouping and coming back. But Tennessee come out and
they played like their hair was on fire to start.
They did. Yeah, they did. And it's that's a big win. And unfortunately, I didn't get to play the Memphis game. I kind of got annoyed, and I think they worded it wrong during the game. They said Tennessee's been off for 8 days for COVID. It wasn't Tennessee that wasn't playing. It was Memphis. Let's don't give the audience who's not familiar with that any misinterpretation. That was all on the Memphis end. And pretty sure Memphis cost getting to play that series anymore over it. And, hats off to Rick Barnes for stepping up, for not mincing words.
Oh, yeah.
Telling it like it was this week. And, that was a missed opportunity for Tennessee for numerous reasons. You got to play I mean, Memphis is a solid team. They just beat Alabama, Nashville.
Big for in-state recruiting. That's
big
what
for
we've talked
in-state
about.
recruiting. Absolutely. And but getting, they made the best. Tennessee made the best of the situation they could. Unfortunately, the fans are the ones that lost out on that. Tennessee, they said, lost 30,000 on it, but then, overcoming that, bouncing back, and beating what some were saying is one of the best teams in the whole nation, and they are. Arizona's good, but they really, really held them in check tonight as well. But William Hughes, $10. Thank you, William. Thank you guys for generosity. We appreciate you. Big John's the man. Go Big Orange. Absolutely. Tennessee basketball is John Fulkerson. He's the face of it. JL, they didn't want none. Absolutely. They did not want none. 227 in here. That's a season high. Looks like there's a hat. If you're interested in the flat bill hat, leave a comment after the show in the post-game comments. I'll remind you again later on. If you're interested in it, because I don't want to give it to somebody who's not interested. So any of you guys that are interested, leave us a comment in the chat, and we'll pick out a winner probably sometime tomorrow, and I'll get with Boogie on that. So
got to come back after the video uploads.
Yep, after the video uploads, because we'll probably forget it on air now. Seen a couple people say they were interested already. So, yep, just like with football when we're giving T-shirts away, come on in post-game after the video uploads. Somebody will get them a Merry Christmas present, courtesy of 200 and some fans checking out the Talkin VAWLS post-game show. So, again, if you're just tuning in, Tennessee 77-73 over number 6 Arizona. Where does this team go from here? Now, they still have Texas non-conference later on, but it's go time. It is conference time, and they're starting it off with a bang next Wednesday, 9 o'clock. Of course, we'll be I know we'll be live after it. It's going to be a late night that night, but we'll be here after it's over. What do you think this does for his team's confidence going into conference play?
I think the sky's the limit right now for their confidence. You have to feel really good about the effort you put forth tonight. We've talked about in the games they've seen the struggle. They've shot the ball poorly. And especially at Madison Square Garden, everybody on the team shot the ball poorly on the same night. So it's one of those
still
things.
Almost won.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to repeat that. And like I said tonight, we talked about it leading into the show at the beginning. You had some of your main guys struggle tonight. And you still won the game, but you won the game because of your defense. That was it. It's what this team is built on. And if they play good defense and then get enough shots to fall, that will determine how far this team can go.
Yeah, they're like I said, their defense, that's what they roll on. I mean, that's what's going to win them games this year. And I don't know if there'll be another night as bad as the Texas Tech game at the Garden. We're probably going to see some games where they struggle with their shot. This team's very reliant on the three-pointer, and I don't know if they have that dead-on guy. You got some streaky guys on the team, but there's going to be those nights where Vescavi chucks up about 23s and hits about 2 of them. But I'll give the guy credit. He doesn't get phased if he's having an off night. He keeps shooting and eventually gets some. I mean, he hits some big shots tonight. 15 points, a struggling 15 points, I would say, in a respect. But
short-term memory.
You have to have it when you're a shooter, and that's what I like about his game. But I think going in, based on what we've seen so far, who do you think poses the biggest threat? Who does Tennessee, if you look at the SEC, and I may be putting you on the spot here, who do you think poses the biggest trouble for Tennessee? Who do you think they have to go through in order to win the conference?
Kentucky's going to be a tough matchup. And you've got them twice. I want to say what I've seen of LSU, they've got some size. They're going to have athletes. That could be a tricky matchup. And closing out the year down towards the end, you got that matchup with Auburn and old Bruce Pearl. So that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, and he seems to have Barnes' number.
Yeah.
It's the bad thing about it. And he's got a good team again this year as well. Let's see. Jake Bates, $5 in the tip jar. Thank you very much, Jake. And Jake followed up again for another $5. Here, thank you again. Vols get the offense rolling. They go deep into the tournament. Keep chucking. I think we've determined at this point they're going to make or break on the three.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. This is the thing with Auburn. Jabari Smith, possible number one. I mean, you're looking at probably him or Banchero. I think he's named from Duke. Maybe Holmgren from Gonzaga, which I kind of an odd dude with his build and stuff. Curious to see how he translates to the NBA. Mike Strange, $20 super sticker. I can't see what's on the sticker, actually, Mike, but thank you. Thank you very much on that. I totally agree with this one, Tiffany. I want to beat Bruce Pearl badly. He's the one that helped get Tennessee basketball going. And we look at it now, we've said it before. What he did was minor in the grand scheme of things. It was kind of stupid. But how's this guy still coaching? He got a 2-game suspension. There's guys getting show causes for less.
Yep.
I mean, it's I want to beat Bruce Pearl. I am not a Bruce Pearl fan. I'm not one of them. I don't ever want him to come back as Tennessee's coach. The only time I want to see him come back is as an opponent. I appreciate what he did when he was here, but he sucks. He can go on. I want to beat him. Beat him bad, him and his boy. Not a fan of either one of them. Let's see. We got here we go. We got the sex bots coming in now. Girls here, streamer recommends. All right. So must have thought we were talking about Presbyterian and the Blue Hose again tonight here. But let's see what else we got here. I think the Texas game is in Austin.
It's at Texas, yeah.
Yeah, because they talked about that being Rick Barnes, kind of a homecoming for him. Let's see. Jabari Smith, yeah, Tennessee was in that one. They were in it with him and Banchero, and just lost out on that. So there you go. So, and just look at the rankings right now. As far as SEC goes, you got Alabama at 10. They were 6 last night. Auburn at 12. LSU at 17. Like you said, Tennessee at 19. Kentucky at 20. The one that surprises me is Arkansas. People are very high on Arkansas coming in. They're just outside. Looks like they're just outside the top 30. Let's see who else is getting votes here. That appears to be it for the SEC.
I think we play Arkansas twice this year, too.
I know we got LSU twice. I do know that one for sure. That's a home and home.
Kentucky, LSU, and Arkansas twice.
Do have that's I know they got Vandy's twice. Let's see here. LSU, South Carolina, I know is twice. I should on that second South Carolina game, February 5th, be at that game. I don't miss an opportunity if Tennessee comes to town to go up and watch them very often. Don't plan on it this time around either. Yeah, Kentucky, Arkansas, Auburn, Georgia. Yep, Arkansas twice, basically in the last 3 weeks of the season. So that's and the final game is at home at Georgia, March 1st. I think somebody said ETSU beat Georgia tonight.
They were up late in the second half, I saw.
Okay, good. ETSU's been playing some good basketball, especially after Tennessee beat them earlier. Beat them pretty handily, but Auburn is in Knoxville. I hope the crowd brings it for that game. And, it's not this nostalgic stuff with Pearl and feeling good, good to see him back or anything. I want to see the crowd for once boo his ass out of the building. And it's not going to happen. And I get it. People love him. But, I want to see that as well. But I think this conference is, I don't know if I'd say a little top heavy, maybe 6, 7 teams, pretty strong. And then after that, I mean, you've got Bama strong. Ole Miss is I thought they would be better than they've been so far this year. LSU's pretty strong. South Carolina, their program's in bad shape right now. Frank Martin's just not. That's a funny thing about it is South Carolina's got a Final Four with him in the last few years. Tennessee doesn't. Lucked into that one somehow. Of course, they got hot at the right time. Kentucky, I mean, Vandy, that program's in bad shape.
The thing is, though, and we've seen it year in and year out, you still got to bring it every night, especially on the road in conference. Even these bad teams, you don't have your head in it. You can get shown up.
It's happened. I mean, it's happened before. I mean, when you go down to Nashville to play, regardless of how good or bad Vanderbilt's playing, they're going to bring the intensity. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a rivalry game. It's in state. You play South Carolina. I mean, that's especially when you go up to Columbia. It'll be a full house, or hopefully it's going to be a full house this time around.
Well,
with everything's going.
And right now, with Tennessee having one of those little numbers beside their name, those mid to lower teams, they love a shot to play spoiler. So anytime a ranked team's coming in, or you're facing a ranked team, it's almost what do you have to lose?
You do, and that's a bad thing. At the end of the year, you play at Georgia. I mean, some of them saying Tom Crean. I think it's just a matter of if, not when, or maybe it's when, not if. Maybe I've got it wrong there, but Tennessee always seems to struggle when they go down to Georgia and play in basketball. I don't know what it is. Going back years, if you go down there and get a win, it's a big deal. Regardless of how good Georgia is. And I think Tennessee should go down there and really have their way with them. But who knows? That's just one of those places they struggle with. And funny thing about it down here, I get all this trash talk from Georgia about football. And I'm like, it's good you can beat Tennessee in something because you can't beat them in basketball. I mean, they might luck up and beat them in basketball, but they're better in football. I don't know if they're better than anything else. Maybe I think they're pretty good in women's softball, but other than that, I mean, men's wise, Tennessee hands definitely better there. But does this obviously one of the things people will say is Rick Barnes, I seen some first round exit. Does this give you any confidence anymore that this team, playing a team like this? I thought it was a good test with their length, with what they can do. Does this give you any more confidence about what kind of a run they can make come March?
I don't know if it gives me any more confidence, but it confirms that they can. They can play with a top 5 team, a top 10 team. Defensively, they're stout. It's whether or not the shots are falling, they're going to score points, because that's I hate to throw out something so simple, but that's the name of the game. You got to have more points at the end. So
That's it. Got to be able to shoot. It's. I don't know. I'm really kind of surprised, but I mean, Barnes is he still trying to figure out a rotation? I mean, it surprised me with what he kind of went a little different tonight than I expected, than he's been going.
Yeah, Vol guy 23 right there. That's the thing. Consistency. You got to have it night in and night out. We've kind of got some guys that you can sort of rely on in Vescavi and Kennedy Chandler, but you look at those two guys tonight, and we talked about it. They were on the struggle bus for most of the game. Santi ended up, finishing with 15 and a okay night, but struggled from distance. Just couldn't get going. It's almost a little reminiscent of last year's team in the fact that there really doesn't seem to be a vocal alpha leader that's emerged yet. Fulkerson's kind of your gritty, but I don't know that he's the vocal guy on the floor. And you think Chandler could be that guy, but as a freshman, he's still showing freshman tendencies at times.
I kind of expected James, but he's kind of a quiet leader.
Yeah.
Respected, but he's not your vocal guy.
Apparently Jake Bates is going to
really? I don't know, man. I don't see it.
Disagree with you there.
Yeah, and that's fine. Maybe there's something I just don't see it at times. Maybe, I don't know. He's more vocal than he's been. I just don't.
And it's hard to see that when you're watching the game on TV, because you're not getting every angle. You're not, you can't pick up what the guys are saying. So there's definitely a lot of positivity going on, because you don't see poor body language, although we saw it in the Villanova game. You don't see a lot of guys, kind of getting on each other on the floor. But it's, I don't know. You just don't see that one guy kind of stepping up like you kind of do for other teams.
Different guy every game.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And that's where consistency needs to be there.
You want to have that spread out team. I think you want to spread out the production. But yeah, I mean, like with Arizona, you know who their guy was going in, and he was their guy tonight.
Yeah.
As well. Tennessee doesn't I think Vescavi wants to be. I just don't think his shot's consistent enough to be. I mean, but again, it's a good thing when you shoot the percent he shot tonight, and he still ends up with 15 points. Definitely an off-night shooting for him. Something I thought was interesting today, we've talked about it with Chandler. People that cover it talk about him that one and done. Man, every time I look at a mock draft, he keeps going down a little bit. The one I saw today, he was down to Memphis at 21, I believe. I don't know why Memphis would pick him with Morant, but I guess can't have enough good point guards. I don't know. I don't see any way he comes back, but he's looked like a freshman numerous times this year. He's not, part of me, I think he's going to be big down the stretch. but he's still adjusting. And he's not.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Did you see the picture that Tennessee basketball tweeted out? The bus ride to Nashville.
Mm-mm.
Kennedy Chandler sitting with Rick Barnes. They had an iPad here, and Barnes had a phone, and they were there was game film on, and they were going over some stuff. So I think that is you look at that, and that's one of the reasons why Kennedy Chandler came to Tennessee to be coached and to be prepped for that next level. And the kid seems eager to learn. There's how many times teams going to the bench and who's getting an earful? Kennedy Chandler.
Yeah.
You know, the kid wants to be coached and coached hard, and you know, he's there to learn. So I expect to see him kind of mature and grow out of those freshman, true freshman tendencies that we're seeing a little bit right now. Because, you know, we've talked about his speed is elite. He's gotten better, you know, with the longer range shot. He's got the total package. It's just he needs to kind of grow and develop just a little bit more and kind of fine tune his athletic abilities.
Yeah, I think this is a good point. I kind of noticed this with Jordan Bone when he was there. Barnes expects a lot out of his point guards. He's tough on them, and you know, but it's an important position. How many times has that position plagued Tennessee over the years? I mean, I felt like the whole time Pearl was there, he didn't have, I mean, he had Bobby Mays. Bobby Mays was a decent point guard. But other than that, I felt that was an Achilles heel for Tennessee. I didn't feel Conzo Martin recruited the point guard position well. I mean, Donnie wasn't there long enough for it, but Barnes, that was kind of one of the first things Barnes did when he come in was he kind of got the guards going. You had Punter. I mean, that guy took off. Richardson, I think Richardson was gone before, but I mean, he played his way into an NBA player eventually. I cannot remember this guy's name. Somebody's going to know it. You may know it. He was there when Barnes come in because Tennessee come down to ETSU and played in Johnson City. Did you go to that when they come to Freedom Hall?
Yeah.
The guy that went off that game, he was a hot scorer, and then he got kicked off the team. I could not remember his name at the time, but he was one of them who was starting to flourish before he got. No, it wasn't Juwan Smith. It was somebody will remember it, but I could if I sat and thought long enough about it, probably. But you know, then Jordan Bone. You had, of course, Lamonte Turner. The point guard, Barnes has rode these guys since he's been there. Mostella, that's it. Mostella. What was it? Diedrich Mostella, maybe? But I can't remember what he got kicked off for, but there was some kind of team violation of rules. But, yeah, he could play. He was good, but that's going to be big. You know, if Chandler leaves, you got B.J. Edwards coming in next year. Barnes is making sure he hits those point guards. And I'll be honest, here's where I think Tennessee – I could see him going maybe the second weekend this year, hopefully further. But I think they have potential to do it. Unfortunately, they have the potential to bow out in round one again. I think the way this team is set up, though, and it's just my opinion, I may be wrong. I think this is a roster set up for long haul. I don't see a lot. I mean, Fulkerson's gone after this year. I would bet money Chandler's gone. as well. Other than that, everybody should be back. And then you add BJ Edwards. Maybe you have a spot for a transfer, or maybe they add something. I know they're in on Judah Mintz, who was a Pitt commitment, did not sign with them. Could this be something like a Baylor? You know, one of these teams who just builds, gets good prospects, but they're there a few years.
Well, it's like Villanova this year. Veteran, of course, they've got a lot of guys. The fifth year, COVID year, just an older team, a veteran leadership, and that's, you'd think, Josiah Jordan-James has been there 3 years now. Get it, man. Yeah, like you said, that could be set up for the next couple of years. But let's not close the book on this team yet.
I'm not. I'm just saying that I think a second weekend. But I'm saying people talk about Barnes and what he's doing. Barnes has got a few years left. I see this as a roster built.
Yeah,
that's going to continue to develop, and their best years may possibly be a couple of years from now. I'm just curious. I think that's how this roster is built. Honestly, you need Chandler to be a one and done, to draw in those guys. You need Huntley Hatfield. I think next year, honestly, you need him to be a guy who plays his way into a first-round pick next year and leave.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a guy that should still be in high school.
Yeah.
And I think the ceiling for him is so high. If he develops and gets better, man, he could be a dominant guy in the paint for Tennessee.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know, they surprised me tonight with their rebounding. I still say Kamwa and Huntley Hatfield have got to play bigger roles down the line. I think Huntley Hatfield needs, again, I don't know why he wasn't in tonight. Kamwa did some good things tonight, but, your wing guys are kind of streaky. Ziegler, Chandler, I like what they bring. I think both of them were kind of off a little bit tonight. What was Ziegler's numbers? I didn't catch his. No, Chandler had 8. Looks like Ziegler had 3 points tonight. Bailey did play, and Huntley Hatfield. They had, minutes are updated now. So Bailey played 1 minute. Huntley Hatfield played 2 minutes tonight. Your starter, Kamwa was at 20 minutes. So Justin Powell played 26. So he took some minutes tonight. And again, that one surprised me just because it seemed like his minutes had kind of diminished recently.
We'd question where he'd been.
He's probably your best shooter on the team. I really think he is. A guy like Bailey, he's a guy that's just, man, he can – I just think some of the effort along the way has hurt him. Maybe defensive effort. I think that was part of the problem last year they mentioned. And, it's not a secret at this point. If you don't play defense for Rick Barnes, you're not going to play. And I think that's part of what maybe Powell had some moments where he didn't play as much either, was defense. But, he definitely did a good job tonight on that. Let's see here. We're at about 54 minutes. We'll wrap up in just a few minutes. But a couple things, guys. Again, if you've tuned in late, we said if we hit 200 viewers, or I said if we hit 200 viewers tonight, we'll give away a flat bill hat. We've had interest in that one before. We surpassed 200. So if you are interested in one of the flat bill hats, leave a comment after the show's over in the post game once the video uploads for that. Leave a comment in that. We'll pick a winner out for that. Also,
go ahead and tease them with the flat bill hat.
Let's tease them with that. As a matter of fact, let's pull it up right now. If you want to know what that flat bill hat looks like, well, I've got the answer for you right here. Talkin VAWLS store, maybe. Share. Here we go. On bonfire.com/Talkin VAWLS. TBA Jam, t-shirts, hoodies. Again, women's racerback. Some of you guys that think you got guns on you, I guess you can wear that too. Wear it to show off at the gym. If you want to wear it to the pool when it starts getting warmer. Retro Talkin VAWLS. There's t-shirt, tank top, hoodie. Talkin VAWLS State Pride merchandise. There's a baseball shirt. There it is. We're giving away one of these Talkin VAWLS flat bill hats. Not regular price, $29.99. It is a snapback. So leave a comment if you want one of these. If we pick you, don't come up and say, well, I want a hoodie instead. Tough luck. You're getting a hat or you're not getting anything. Hate to be like that, but that's what we're giving away tonight is one of these hats. Pretty sweet hat there. There's Talkin VAWLS toboggan here as well. Diamond VAWLS just around the corner. Some Diamond VAWLS merchandise there. Talkin VAWLS hoops as well. Obviously, this stuff's not going to ship by Christmas. But you can also, you can take that Christmas money that you're given, and you can definitely come up and purchase something later on from that as well. That merchandise, the elves are working around the clock putting out that Talkin VAWLS merchandise. So
get you some fresh digs for the new year.
That's right. If you want to start the new year off right, Talkin VAWLS merchandise is the way to go with it. But got anything else before we wrap this thing up and get out of here?
It's go time now. Conference play is on us. So
conference play is on us. I don't know. We'll have any, of course, Christmas coming up. I'll be traveling tomorrow in town for Christmas this weekend. I know you're about to hit the road here pretty soon. All you guys listening out there, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in with us. Pretty good Christmas present for Vols fans tonight. Nice win, 77-73 for the Vols. Just for what's going up, I know Boogie's going to drop videos. He dropped some this morning on it. Of course, I had the Arizona preview today. I'm not sure what he's got dropping tomorrow. I know something will be going off tomorrow. And then who knows? I wouldn't be surprised to see a Christmas Eve and a Christmas video drop from Boogie as well. He's always dropping. He's always thinking of topics. Always thinking ahead a little bit on that. So I think there'll be something for your listening pleasure. Maybe you're sitting around the tree opening presents and you just want to throw Talkin VAWLS video on, see what's going on there. But we'll be back at you. I think the plan next week, next Tuesday, we'll have our live show at 7. Wednesday night, Tennessee, Alabama, 9 o'clock basketball. We'll be a live post game for that. And then Thursday's the bowl game. I think the plan, I may be wrong on this, we'll probably do a tailgate and then we'll have a post game show as well. But on behalf of Dauber and myself, Merry Christmas, guys. Enjoy your week. Have a good evening. If you're out traveling, be safe. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Once again, he's Dauber. I'm the Indy Kid. You guys take care. Go Big Orange.
How like me, poets sat in arcade, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive.